Josh Pardini with us, the offensive coordinator of the Lackawanna College Falcons. Coach, 83 points. You can't take credit for all the points. It might have been a defensive touchdown in there somewhere.
Right.
But nonetheless, a big victory against Erie. Let's talk a little bit about the victory.
You know, I think we came out and did what we expected to do, and I mean that in the most humble way possible. We knew we were probably the superior team in terms of talent, but we had to come out and execute, and that's really what the week of preparation was about, is coming out and executing what we want to do, getting better at what we do. You know, we always say it's not about who you play, it's about playing well. So I think the guys offensively, defensively, special teams-wise, came out and did that on Saturday, and we're able to put some points on the board and keep them off of it.
Let's talk a little bit about that run offense, because, you know, against ASA Miami, you know, they did some things that,
Sure.
you know, you didn't have as much run offense. So talk a little bit about being able to get that going a little bit more. And boy, there's a bunch of guys that can run the football, and you could just pick one of them at any given point. And late in the game, you know, you had a different guy running the football. It was like, we don't have any more running backs. This
Sure.
is what we have to do.
Well, we have 4 backs that we're really comfortable with, and you're going to meet one of them here in a minute, Kareem Hall from Jeanette out in Pittsburgh. But, you know, I think the week prior, ASA Miami devoted themselves to stopping the run, and that's why Matt Cavallero has 5 touchdowns through the air. For 20 years, Lackawanna College has tried to line up and beat people up with the run game, but I think we've gotten much better through the air over the last couple of years, and we're really two-dimensional now, which makes us hard to defend. So if you're going to devote 8, 9, 10 hats to the box, we're going to push the ball down the field. Of course, we have some weapons outside, and like I said, Matty does a great job of, you know, getting the ball out there and not making mistakes.
You know, I was trying to promote that heavy package to Coach Duda a couple weeks ago. If it's needed towards the end of the game, I said, hey, let's put 91 in, give him the football, let him just keep running into the line.
Sure.
But all things being said, let's talk a little bit about Matt Cavallero coming in, taking some time off as a hockey player, and man, it's nice to see him play football again.
That's my guy, John. You know, he's tough as nails. He communicates great. We're always on the same page. He's not afraid to talk to me, which I think is a big deal. You know, he'll turn around to me at practice and say, I don't like that play, let's take that out of the game plan. And that's really what you need as a coordinator. You need that communication with the quarterback, because at the end of the day, he's the one calling the shots. So he's really an extension of myself on the field. He does a great job leading our team. He's careful with the football. He's accurate. He's smart. And I think hockey had a lot to do with it. You know, you have to process really fast in hockey, or you're going to end up on the boards, you know, and you have to process really fast playing the quarterback position. I think that kind of translates, and enough people don't really think about that.
As much as we talk about your offense, your defense is playing lights out. Talk about Billy Reese and the job he's done, and there's got to be some parts of the game where you're looking at that defense saying, okay, that was a pretty good job.
Right. You know, we see it every day, and I think that's what made us a successful offense here over the last couple of years, that we got to compete against Coach Reese and his guys every day. And I'd like to give Billy credit and say it's all scheme, but man, he has some unbelievable players over there. You know, just some unbelievable talent that understand what we're trying to get accomplished. And I think there's something to be said about the courage that Bill Reese has. We line up and play cover 0 and cover 1 more than any other team in America. You know, we said, well, our pass rush is going to get home and we're going to hold up in man, and our guys believe in that. You know, so I think that's really cool. And Billy and Coach Duda and those guys over there do a great job. And
special teams a big part of it. And right now, Coach Duda's in a special teams meeting, so that's how important it is. And a big test this week, ASA Brooklyn. They were a heck of a challenge last year. A really good football team. They got an awful lot of talent. So let's talk about that scouting report, how they look on film.
You know, I think this week we're going to line up against each other, you know, and you're going to line up against a team from Brooklyn who's just as fast, just as big, just as strong, just as talented as we are, very similar to the team we saw in Utah when we played Snow College. We believe special teams is going to have a big effect on this game. That's why Coach Duda's in that meeting right now. You know, when offense and defense is equal, you kind of rely on your teams to get it done, and we've had a great success here over the last couple of weeks with our special teams. Cam Sicati, kid from Valley View, you know, puts the ball out of the end zone on kickoffs, does a great job on field goal, extra point. Luke Payne, our punter, does a great job. You know, so we have some guys that can get the job done, but that's going to be a huge emphasis this week, because it's going to be ebb and flow in this football game, and special teams could really be the deciding factor.
It's nice to see some of those local guys doing great stuff, but as you had mentioned, there's talent from all over the country at Lackawanna, and some guys have different stories than others, but in the end, these guys find a way to get together, whether they're freshmen coming in or sophomores helping lead because other players did that. How do you find the leadership on this year's team?
It's tough. You know, offensively, we lost our top 14 rotational players. That's 9 offensive linemen, both quarterbacks, tailbacks, wide receivers. So there was a leadership gap for sure, like there is all the time in junior college. But I think guys like Matt Cavallero, Trey Dorsey, Marcus DeShields, Kareem Hall, they've really embraced that leadership role. There's not a lot of talking, it's more acting. You know, we have a motto on offense. We'd like to say that we're all in, and I want you to show me, don't tell me. You know, so we try to, you know, speak with our actions and not really our words. And I think, you know, we're getting there. We're not exactly where we want to be yet from a leadership or execution standpoint, but we always talk about staying off the roller coaster and staying on the airplane. We want to keep that steady ascent and finally get to where we need to be.
Coach, always great to see you, and keep up the great work, and root for the Falcons here from Lackawanna College.
Thanks, John.